Radiant's top tower is under attack.
To the bottom.
Fortunes change.
Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top barracks has fallen.
My Snuggie is right here.
Wicked sick.
It's on my lap. Never far from me. Yes, Snuggie dance. Right, where am I starting? Last time I ended at like... It's in game time? What the hell? Wait, this is in game time? When did it change that? Oh, that's really good. Last time I ended around here, I think, right? It is around where I ended. Oh.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Went over this fight.
Radiant's top
Alright. I don't know how to keep it open all the time. It is an open mic. It's just, it has a sound gate, and trust me, you guys want a sound gate on. Alright. Make it dark for 1 minute so that I can find this when I make the YouTube video. Have enough water, that is good. My hair is greasy and messy. I walked like 2 hours of walking yesterday. I'm dying. Alright, I am starting... Okay, I'm gonna give myself a countdown. I'm gonna count down from 10. I'll start at like -5. That makes sense. 5, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. Starting. What replay analysis is this? 7. Good stuff. Okay. Hello everyone. This is AUI 2000 with my replay analysis number 7. This one will sort of be branching off from the last one, number 6, obviously, where we had PSU versus U of M, and we're gonna be looking at like the mid-late game of this game because I thought the game was pretty good in the early game, and there's not that many scrims that have been sent to me, or there are, but like this game seems decent. So, anyways, we left off when I think Dire got 4 heroes lost because they overcommitted once they committed their ultimates. And then the Radiant team were able to turn it around. And we talked about how after you use your big spells, you can't overcommit even if you got 1 kill. Like one hero on their team being dead doesn't make them weaker than you if you have no ultimates. But anyways, we're gonna keep going here. So first step, I want to just talk about some item progression. So we're gonna play this a bit slower. So Viper, starting to make, he has a mech. He's starting to make BKB, I guess. He's pretty stunted. His net worth is really low actually for a Viper. He didn't dominate his lane at all. Yes, I know he was versus Krob, and Krob did really well versus him. We can sort of see that reflected. Luna's going for a BKB as well. It's probably necessary versus this team. They have a lot of spells. You know, BKB is actually really good against PA just because she can't dagger and blink on you. Cobbus is fat. He is fat.
Coin for me.
Yeah, her build's pretty good, pretty standard. Predator's getting that fast refresher. He's way overfarmed. Venge has Medallion, which I like. He has Foresight, which is also really good. A lot of Venges have a problem with going Medallion, actually. This is actually the old patch, so the new Medallion's really good, I think, almost every game. But the old Medallion, like, it's sort of expensive, and it's sort of still awkward to use. And a lot of the damage on this team is going to just be magical. So this Medallion pickup is only really if they want to take Roshan. So we're actually getting a sneaked Roshan on PSU. Which is really good because while the scoreboard's like this, it's sort of hard for them to fight into them. Just because Global's not as good versus Crobless stuff. They actually take a fight right after Roshan. So it's sort of... Well, they don't have Eclipse. They don't have Ravage. But this team used wards and they took damage to Roshan. And they weren't quite in position. If we look at their most farmed hero was a bit far away there. So they can't take a fight. I think if Crobless was here at the start, and maybe like PA ran out with the Aegis first, and Crobless swept them from behind it and they're global, they would have crushed them this fight. I don't know if they took timers or not, but not having Ravage and Eclipse, it would have been a pretty clear fight for Dire. That's one thing to consider. Even if you've taken Roshan, you have an Aegis, but that doesn't always mean you're stronger. You've taken damage from Roshan, and you possibly use some spells, like in this case, use Serpent Wards. So one of the things that you can do in the mid-late game is that you can actually... Like, if they're a team that's not that good at killing Roshan, this team's actually pretty good at killing Roshan. They have a PA and a Rasa. But some teams, like I want this to be less game-specific and more in general, some teams will take a lot of damage from Roshan or have to use a lot of Roshan. So one of the best things that you can do is you kill them right after Roshan, even if you're a bit late. Actually, I should say the ideal fight is when Roshan's low, because then they're whatever it is. Wait, let me drink some water. Then they have to be conflicted between finishing Roshan and fighting you guys, right? It's like, I'm gonna make a StarCraft analogy here because it's the only other game I really know. But the best time to attack is when an expansion just finishes, because they've already sunk their 400 resources or whatever into it. Their production has stalled from using those resources. If you fight them right when they take the expansion, their production actually hasn't lost anything yet, because those 400 minerals, unless they're Protoss and Warp Gates are bullshit, but anyways, it shouldn't work that way. But say you're fighting a Terran and they build a CC, they wouldn't have had those 400 minerals worth of units anyways, if you attack them right when they put down the expansion. When they finish the expansion, they can't cancel anymore, so they're committed to it, and then their production decrease has already sunk in. So that's sort of the similar thing with Roshan. Yeah, anyways. So the other team is Aegis, but they know that they have ultimates and they just finished the BKB, so they're gonna push. Okay, this is a huge thing. I sort of gone over this game because I tried to be a bit prepared, but I'm awful, but so it's not that prepared. But anyways, this is gonna be a big thing. When they're standing at your tower like this, you better have clicked on every single one of their heroes. One of your teammates at least. You have to click on one of these heroes. Because I'm gonna tell you guys what happens about this fight, because I'm not casting this or anything, I don't care about the excitement. They swap Luna in, and they don't know she has a BKB. And she pops her BKB ultis, and she's at full health by the end of the fight. It cannot happen like that. That should never happen when they're hitting your tower, you have vision on them. Anyways, clicking enemy heroes is extremely important. Crobolus, I hate this Mystic Axe so much. He needs armor. She has 8 armor, they have a Venge, they have a Medallion, they have a Gush. It's really bad. Anyways, it's like they use her. Oh, they didn't swap her in, sorry. But they use her, and then she just pops BKB, and then they commit on her. So committed. Venge is on the Luna's team, what's wrong with me? Anyways, I didn't watch it closely enough. So then they get BKB, they're overcommit, they get ravaged. They blow the global really early. We're gonna go back here, since I sort of saw this fight because I zoomed over at 8x last time. I just heard a swap sound and like, Luna in the middle of them. Anyways, Luna goes in the middle of them. So they pop global, and then they all run into her, and bad stuff happens. He doesn't pop Venom. No! That would've been such a good Venom. Anyways, oh, that's so sad. Don't go to Viper. Ooh. Like, the big thing here was that when we talk about this team fight, the big things that you all look at is, 1, I don't think they knew Luna had a BKB because they committed so heavily on her. 2, when you use big ultimates, like especially global, you don't want to use it before the enemy team is committed. That makes sense. Because when he uses this global, let's just look at what happens during the global. Let's look how much damage the Radiant team takes during global, which is one of the biggest ultimates in the game. We're just gonna click on all the heroes and see how much damage they take. The globals. So it's a 4-second global, okay? So during this global, they took 200 damage on Luna. So you've used your big ultimate to do 200 damage because the other team when you global was not committed at all. So basically with a big ultimate, you almost always want to wait as long as possible before using it. And that applies to pretty much everything. Counter initiation is always OP in Dota. It's always stronger than initiation if done properly. That's because, okay, again, we looked at how much damage the Radiant team took during that global. But we're gonna go back and we're gonna look at what why did they take no damage? Like, we're gonna look at what the Dire team was doing when he globaled. Okay, so he's globals, and they're all running towards them. Everyone's moving. They're just fucking running at them. So for those 4 seconds, that global was like a positioning global. All his team did during that time was move themselves. If the Radiant team like ravaged and then you globaled after a BKB but before Eclipse, that would have been ideal. Especially if Crop got her BKB off before the Ravage. Popped out to you. Because then the Radiant team's committed. They have a Tide in the middle of you. Your Silencer doesn't get hit by it because he stands up here or something. Doesn't need to cast any other spells other than global. So they're committed. And then you would have seen the Crobot just destroy them. They would have melted them. I think another problem with this fight obviously is this Mystic Sash. She has 10 armor right now with the Bassi. And they have like minus like 1 billion armor with Venge, Tide, and Medallion. That's a huge problem. You also need to consider like the enemy's peaks and how much this tower is worth. So this tower, after Roshan's dead, is not worth anything for the next 8 minutes. Or at least the next 8 minutes. And even then, it's not that important, to be honest. So, like, defending his tower, committing to defend it, does not seem that reasonable, I guess. It doesn't seem like that good a play, especially since you have all this pressure on top. When they push this tower, if the Vendel stayed up here, when they push this tower, they're going to get a tier 2 or almost get a tier 2. At the very worst case scenario, they're going to force a TP here, and then they're going to be able to engage on them. And you take a 5v4, and you have all your ultimates, they have all their ultimates. It's not like this 5v4, which really sucked for them. I'm going to say it right now. If this fight here, and this fight here didn't happen for PSU, they would have 100% won this game. This Crob was ham. Like she was so farmed. Anyways, we're gonna go back over to fight and yeah. So that's it. They see this Luna, they committed on her and then she popped her ultimate and it did huge damage. The enemy team committed on the Luna then, and then Tide went in with his perfect Ravage. So that is Ravage on players that are already within your hero to hit. During that Ravage, Luna got like 5 attacks off, which means she's already attacking when the Ravage is starting to go off, which is really, really good. Anyways, they lose Aegis, the Veno buys back, they die again. Cobb gets caught. So that's a 5-man team fight, a buyback and Aegis. And like that's game, right? Like that is, if you're looking at game defining mistakes, you just found the biggest one there. And like, I know I said it before, but one, can't initiate before the enemy team's committed with something that you don't have a big stun with, because they don't have any initiating stuns. That's one of the problems with the team. Your best initiation, anyways, I'll talk about that later, but they don't have any real good initiation. And then they had Aegis, and they defended the useless tower. Now they lost 2 towers, 5 heroes, they lost a buyback, they lost Aegis. Enemy team didn't lose their tower, and the gold swing is
Microphone muted.
like this. Like, from being 5,000 plus ahead to, I think that'll end up being like 5,000 behind. Maybe not. Like, how does grass work?
Microphone activated. Microphone muted.
That's annoying. I should turn off TeamSpeak. Sorry.
Disconnected.
Yeah, it's around 5,000. So that's a 10k gold swing one fight, which is absurd, by the way. Like that, there's so much gold for 25 minutes or whatever that was. Anyways, so I'm gonna go back and look at this team fight, and we're gonna talk about like what could the Dire team have done to avoid this, other than just not fight there. And we're gonna talk about it from item perspective. So one, your only initiation to make them commit to a fight on these teams, well, actually they sort of have 3 things, maybe 4 if you count Yule Scepter, but it's not that good. So okay, let's just talk. Sorry, I'm unprepared here, but let's just say, how can PSU force them to commit to a fight so they have a good global? Because that's what we sort of want to solve in a lineup, right? If you have lineup issues, you want to look at problems like this. So one, they have a Yule Scepter to initiate. Yule Scepter, you position well so that you don't all get ravaged. You have a global ready, so if they do ravage, you're going to get it off and stuff. So that's one. You have a blink in Hex and an immediate global when everyone can get closer. And then you have a Hex and a free Shackle during the global. That's decent. The best initiation for this team, though, is if... I think Veno should have skipped Mech this game, for sure. I don't think Mech is that important this game. And I think that someone like Silencer can get a Mech eventually, or it's not even that good. It's definitely good. Don't get me wrong, Mech is a really good item. But you sort of needed to have his eggs blink for this fight. Because imagine if he eggs, he galed 2 or 3, he ults them, and then they'll all go into Veno, right? You don't even need to save him. He's already done his job when he gets his Gale and ulti off. Maybe one ward hits someone so that he gets the poison sting on them. They all go into him. Maybe they blow stuff. You sort of reset the fight. You back up, you re-engage, or you play around what ultis he used. If they ravage him, you can just wait it out. If they eclipse him, you can wait it out. If they don't do anything, he's not going to die fast enough. And then you can sort of, your heroes will start running in. And then once your heroes run in, they're all slowed, so your heroes can catch them. Then you global. And the Veno is ticking, and they could have easily won this fight if they had Blink on Veno, hopefully an Eggs. Because maybe he wouldn't have had that for this fight, and that's why I wouldn't have taken it here. But maybe by this tower, he would have had it. Or he would have been close. Or they would have pressured him to back, and in the next fight, he would have had that for sure. So what happened here also is that they were 1,000 gold from Shivas. They had the wrong items, but if they had the right items, they would also been 1,000 gold from Eggs Blink. And then the other team, they just finished BKB. They finished, like, they got Tank on the Viper. He finally got his first 2 parts of eggs, and that's the strongest point of Viper, by the way. The strongest point of Viper is not when you complete your eggs, in my opinion. It's actually just when you have usually treads. Treads, Mech, Point Booster, Ogre Club. You're 1600 HP with level 4 next Crossing Skin, and they can't do anything to you. So you're fighting the enemy team at their peak. Like that. This is the only time they could basically lose fight, other than this overcommitment here. After that, if they didn't like do this fight, they would have completely won the game. So yeah, Anyway, so we're gonna zip across the next fight. We need to get this Shiva's on Krob really bad. There's minus armor. I'm not actually sure if Shiva's was the right choice. I think maybe just plate mail into heart would have been good too. But Shiva's is pretty standard. You can't, like, it's not game losing, you know? It's everyone makes a lot of mistakes in Dota. You just have to sort of focus on the big ones, I think. Hero's crazy. Free pick. This top tower should be defendable now. They have global, they have Crawbolt soon. See what they do. So the Venom's set up. They have no initiation. They're walking here. The fucking 288 MS is Viper's walking here and they can't catch him with anything because that's one of the flaws with this team before Rasta gets Blink Dagger or Venom gets Blink. He has a Blink Dagger but now he's on the other side of the map. So anyways, this guy's doing AUI things. Just AUI things. Casual wards here. Oh, he blows his wards. Oh, Jesus. Again, he gets his Venom this time. He should have... Fuck, man. He should have turned on and killed them for sure. Like, when this global happened, when they swap into global here, that was so good for them. Sort of. If Krob was there, haha. It could have been so good for them. Because he gets his Venom off. If he outsees and kills them, I think Krob actually can... Like, if this was Arteezy, he would have fucking ran the fucking... And PA would have TP'd in. And everything would have been happy. Actually, she doesn't have BKB yet. Also, PA, like, she's really bad with... Like, they took a fight here. She had Aegis. But she's weaker with Aegis than if she just had BKB. So, that's the thing. Anyways, Venolt's down. Apparently, they took no damage from it. I thought they'd take way more damage from Venolt, but he doesn't have eggs. Sort of shitty for him. Eggs is really good. Anyways, so they lose another 2 towers. They lose a Veno there too. They got 1 Jakiro kill for it. They got the volunteer too, but it's not a good enough trade. Like, so here's another thing I'm going to talk about is when you defend towers, how you defend towers. So we look here. They're sort of committed. They're sort of set up here, and then they all decide to farm the jungle. They're not well set up here anymore. You need to put the wards closer to the tower. They get caught here. None of their heroes are in a position to pressure anything but the Rasta. This guy's not pushing out. The lane's not pushed out enough. So, like, farming this is good, but it doesn't really matter. Like, and then what happens is they push their tower, and you have your 2 biggest farmers on your team sitting in the same lane, just sitting together. So, like, either, like, you need to make a quicker decision. Either this, you let this tower go, and you're already in their jungle farming it, you've already farmed all 5 of your camps in your jungle, and then this tower doesn't matter that much. Or you need like 4 heroes here defending with the rest split pushing. Maybe 3 heroes if like Pace farm here, but you need Krob there and because you have a globe to back him up and stuff like that. So the decision making is too slow. Okay. Anyways, so again here, they don't really know what they're doing here. They have global, they're not sure if they want to defend this. So they TP up, they still have Ravage, they still have Eclipse, they have everything. You can't defend it, you have no global. So the decision making again is a bit too slow. I think if they were to get this tower, at the very least, the lane should have been hitting the towers. And the enemy jungle should have been farmed. This should all be farmed, this should be hitting towers, they would have gotten our 2 waves there. You know, 5 camps, 500 gold, 2 waves, 500 gold, that's 1,000 gold, and pressure on it so they can't march down mid like this. Bottom was there, they couldn't get in the jungle like this with all 5 heroes like this. Bottom tower, you need to stand in melee range. Melee range does triple the damage or something as like 600 range away. Yeah, anyways, so here. I think if they're fighting here, you should actually just turn on them. And we're going to go back and look at the mid fight after. So like, he knew his teammates were fighting, but he didn't have vision on the tide, so this decision to back was sort of good. I would prefer to man up there just because like they're fighting. You can sort of assume there's going to be a couple heroes here, or they're going to do something really good here. Even if you feed there, you give your team information and you're going to kill someone because you have Krob with Shivas and level 3 ulti. Alright, so we're going to look at this mid fight. The Krob does a good job, you know. She gets them backing here. Pops her ulti, she gets the tower. Okay, let's look at this mid fight. Okay, first let's look at what Krob could have done. So she sees a she knows someone seeping in. She sees a Venge seeping in. She sees a Viper. What she could have done, she could have really silence is she just BKB travels here or TPs here? I think they would have crushed him here. Anyways, this was sort of, these are the mistakes I don't care to talk about. Like PA to turn back and then he turned back and then turned forward, which is minus hit because you have turn time. And he would have killed Luna after that, and he probably wouldn't have died, or they would have had to at least blow Ravage on him in order to kill him. So that's actually quite a big mistake, but I don't think people should care about those mistakes. Okay, that's sort of unfortunate. Blow Ravage on him. I think this guy should have ward trapped this guy because there's no way getting out, but that's sort of harder to say. So, like, that was sort of a disaster for the Dire team. I think they could have either got bot Rex or they could have killed the mid for sure. That's another lost fight because even though this fight autumn happened, like, this team is not bad still. They're getting in a worse and worse spot. Tide's gonna have a refresh. Oh, he has refresher. And this is something cool he also did. He has level 2 Ravage with level 16 just because he doesn't have the mana for level 3 Ravage. It's an extra 200 mana when you use your refresher, and he just doesn't have with Arcane's this. If you have 4 stuff, then you can get level 3. So that's really smart. Yeah. I don't. So they're just gonna try to farm up. When you're behind like this, you need to try to keep pressure on all lanes. We call it like suicide pushing. Like, this is not good, but like, this crop needs to just keep going. She needs to just keep going. The farming that camp was good, but you need to just keep going. Push fast, push fast, push fast, push fast. Suicide push. Even if you don't see all the mid, well, you need to be a bit more careful. Holy shit, they are not happy. Yes, you're not happy. They med. So anyways, like, you need to get these lanes pushed out. If you don't see like the Venge and like all of them, then it's sort of scary. But you need to at least have the lanes hit their tower. You don't need to hit the tower, so it's not that scary unless they're really good at setting up. And there are very few pro teams that are even good at that. So yeah. Anyways, they go for Roshan again. They sneak a Roshan. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good comeback mechanic. They give it to PA again. She's trapped in wards. Doesn't matter. She blinks out. She needs to farm her BKB. She needs to be farming.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I actually think she should have just finished the HOTD. Like, got a creep and just farmed it with it, but that's pretty casually, like, efficient or something. I don't know. I do want to say this crop's doing really good at pushing out the lanes. Honestly, it could be like, see, this wave is risky. When you're behind like this, I actually think that you might need to do it. And she TP's out. She gets out smart. Ooh, you can see below the throne. Anyways, this PA, her farm completely stagnated this game. She had a pretty quick battle fury, and then she just didn't get to farm anything because they took bad fight here, bad fight here. Where else did she die? I don't know. Oh, she died bad fight here. You know, she's standing at this tower, then her and Copper farming together. Like, if we just look through the replay at what the PA could have farmed, this is the most annoying thing in the game. If we just look at through the replay at what she could have farmed, like, this PA could have been really, really farmed. Anyways, he's not leveling up Shackle. Sort of interesting because he has 4 stuff, right? And he has a global to get Shackle off. So anyways, good luck here. Let's see the Luna. Sort of cute. It's a cute kill. Run! What the fuck? Holy shit, Luna Glaives. Oh, she's MKB too. Yeah, if he popped his BKB faster, he probably would have lived. Krob should probably be like running here so she can blink because they see him and then they're like, oh shit. And you still need to like run here. Anyways, what happens here is probably they both die. They have a Blink Ravager coming. Boom, dead. Yeah. The initial play is good. The PA popped the BKB a bit too late. That's sort of a risky play that you can go for. That was really risky though. I don't think I would have gone for it. Like, how much vision do they have? Like, the enemy team was not a vision, they were actually smoked towards the Luna. So that was like, if they're 5 seconds late, they wouldn't have gone that and it would have just been disaster. But like, I need to start saying like, but if you're really quick, you can make these plays. It's just really hard to do, and yeah. So, but